It's time for the Sunday Roundtable, and joining us this morning, Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh, Republican political analyst Rob Gray. By the way, happy opening day, because it's opening day today. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. But it's
another type of opening day.
Oh,
okay.
dear.
So you just heard Shannon Liss Reardon. A new poll, it was an online poll, I'll tell you right that up top, shows if Joe Kennedy enters the race, he automatically zooms to the top over incumbent Ed Markey, and Reardon is at the very bottom. What's your advice to her, Marianne?
No surprise that Joe Kennedy would be at the top of any poll in this race right now. I think for Liz Reardon, if I were her, get into the congressional race for Joe Kennedy's seat. She has $1 million. She would have the largest war chest going into that race. Get in now. I'm not saying she'd win it, but it's her best shot to win something.
You notice that she didn't say that she would definitely not do it.
Right.
I pushed her a couple of times on that question. Rob, what do you think? What's your advice?
My advice is hope Kennedy doesn't run. Because,
He's running.
It looks like he is.
I mean, one-on-one against Markey, she has a chance. Ed Markey's been in Washington since 1976, almost half a century he's been there. I think, he's more than on the back nine. He's on the 19th hole, so she could potentially beat him, but it's more likely Joe Kennedy's going to beat him.
So with the advice, following what Marianne
She needs
says,
a one-on-one race, and she doesn't have that.
Should she go congressional then if Joe?
Well, I think she'd have a good chance at that, sure.
So here are the names you're putting on the table. They're all Democratic. Shannon Liss Reardon, Joe Kennedy III we're talking about, running against Ed Markey. A lot of talk about Democrats, Rob, that are running in these races. Where's the GOP in this? Where's the GOP challenge for a United States Senate seat?
Well, right now, nowhere. Nobody has expressed interest, and I'll tell you why. It's a presidential election year coming up. In 2014, gubernatorial election year, 2.1 million people voted. 2016, 3.1 million people voted in a presidential election year. That makes the odds very long for Republicans winning in a presidential year, and the candidates are showing it. They don't think they can win. They're not getting in.
What about the friction between Governor Baker and Jim Lyons? Do you think that's also adding to sort of like the stalemate that's going on in the party right now?
I don't think that's a problem. I think people just look back and say, look what happened to Scott Brown in 2012 in the presidential election when he was an incumbent.
So, Marianne, what's your read on this?
Well, I mean, Rob's right. In a presidential year, Democrats win because the bigger the turnout, the more Democrats win, the more votes they get. However, Jim Lyons has made the Massachusetts Republican Party the party of Trump. And in that scenario, you're only going to get 40% in Massachusetts, which is what Trump will get maybe. That's a real problem. And that's the challenge for Charlie Baker. This fight between Lyons and Baker has taken away Baker's best fundraising mechanism, the joint account. But the problem for Baker is the closer and more affiliated he is with this Republican Party now, the tougher for him if he wants a third term. So he's got to figure out another way to raise money, but it beats being lined up with Jim Lyons and a Trump party in Massachusetts.
So let's go national with a local candidate. This week, Elizabeth Warren goes head-to-head with Joe Biden for the first time. What do you think will be her strategy, and does she need to stay in good standing with Bernie Sanders as she has in the past debates? Let's start with you, Rob.
I think her strategy is to do more of the same because she's gotten better as a candidate. She had a good moment this week in the climate change debate, probably the most quotable moment of the debate. And let's face it, Joe Biden is leaking oil, with fake stories, not knowing what state he's in. He's got a problem, so she's gaining just by doing what she's doing.
Does she attack Joe Biden, Marianne? Do you think she will?
She doesn't need to. I mean, we're going to look back on this debate coming up on ABC as the pivotal moment when Elizabeth Warren set herself up to become the front runner. It'll be in this debate. She doesn't need to go after Biden. She doesn't need to go after Sanders. She'll leave the chippiness to everybody else who's behind her. But what she is going to do is draw contrast just by her performance and her policies. More specific, more energetic, more enthusiastic, just everything everybody wants her to be. And when you see that, people are going to finally see her after looking in that comparison and say, she's the one to take on Trump.
Will Biden take her on, though? Will Biden go after her?
I don't
dare
think
to criticize her?
He should, but he won't. I think he's A, afraid to, and B, if he did, to Rob's point, he'd probably.
By the way, you win a lot of points because it's on Channel 5 and you nailed it. The debate is on Channel 5.
Right here.
It's very good. Yep. All right, I want to look at the other 7 candidates that are in Thursday's debate. I know there are more in the field, but there are other 7 in Thursday's debate. The obvious question, who desperately needs to move out? But has this thing been whittled down to a 3-horse race already, Marianne?
No question, it's a 3-person race, and it has been for some time. Kamala Harris isn't even in that group anymore. But the one who's facing the most financial pressure, that's a real candidate, is Julian Castro. He's only got $1 million left cash on hand, and he's the the one you think could be, I think, somebody's vice presidential candidate. So the longer he stays in, the better his chances are that. Yang's got like 800,000, he's not real anyway.
Rob?
Well, so I think it's Yang, right? I mean, he and Buttigieg are the only outsiders among these 10. Yang is the business guy. He hasn't been able to break through. I mean, I don't think he's going anywhere, but this is kind of a now or never moment for him. Buttigieg is in the top 5 and you know, I think already doing well.
And Marianne, you can watch the debate where?
Channel 5, WCVB, right here, baby.
We'll be right back.
We're going to have her do promos for us from now on.
Exactly.